Okay. Right, we will call the meeting to order. This is case number 2019-02. Patrick DeBover, and it is Patrick and Connie DeBover. And the location is 30 Francis Avenue, Jackson, New Hampshire. And Patrick DeBover is, how do you pronounce it?
DeBover.
DeBover, okay.
You're really close.
Okay. I was going to go Dutch on it, so DeBover. So Patrick DeBover is here and requesting a variance from section 4.3.1.2 of the zoning ordinance to permit from the center line of private road, a variance from the center line of private road and from a butter property line. Do you want to just walk us through what you're planning on doing? You can use
Sure, if I may. So what I'm looking to...
Hold the chair.
Okay. Part of the group.
Yeah.
So what I'm proposing to do is tear down the existing structure, which is 20 by 30. I have plans, as you see, for a post and beam. Given the nature of that, it steps out a little bit wider, so it's 24 by 32 in terms of the actual footprint that I'm doing. And then in addition to that, just because of the inhospitable terrain running along the side, my wife and I decided that it would be very good to put a 6-inch or 6-foot porch running along, this side as well and down. So we contacted the surveyor and he located, the new structure a little bit forward, but within, or out of the river setbacks, but it does increase, the usage on the non-conforming use to a degree along the roadside, if you will, and then it increases the use along the abutter side as well.
Where would 50 feet from the center line of that road be in relation to your building? Would your entire building be within 50 feet of the center line?
It currently is, and it's currently, what we're building is currently along this exact same line. So it just extends it out, I guess, 8 feet, the use. But it doesn't push it, it doesn't make it more non-conforming towards the center line of the road. I think Kevin and I measured and we thought it was about 30 feet roughly, as built.
Yeah, okay.
It's a tough lot.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. It's a lot of
the slope in the back.
Yeah,
difficult.
It grades down pretty radically, and so we did put in a septic. We had a new septic that was approved by the state, and also a well that was also approved and permitted and completed. And we've just been kind of waiting, to do this as a kind of a retirement home, and here we are today.
And you said you thought the porch along the side. What was the thought with the porch along the side? What does that do for you?
Well, it gives us accessibility, as you can see that, this point on, if you don't mind. It drops off considerably here, just so really access to the side. It kind of gives us, some access, and then we have steps going down to the river rather than.
Right, because now the entry of the place is in the center here, right?
It's right, yeah, here, and then it just kind of is a little kind of a trail that we, stone trail that we do, and it's, as we get older, it gets a little bit harder and harder all the time. I mean, it's not that old, but.
And isn't the door in the middle of the front of the building?
It is, currently,
okay.
yeah.
All right. And there's another entrance over here?
No, there's not.
Oh.
Currently, there's no other entrance. It's just the one door and then, off the deck.
Okay.
Is there an as-built plan somewhere? No.
we've got that.
Yeah, that's kind of the as-built, I guess, and then this is the new.
Right.
I took this off when I copied it.
Oh yeah, I made my. This is how does this go? Right about. I thought this was the best visual aid I could come up with, but and this is obviously not to scale, but that's kind of what's going in. So it's sort of, increasing it here by about 8 feet, and then increasing it here is really what we're talking about.
The building itself is really almost the same size as the existing building, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's slightly
So it's
larger, just due to
32 by, as opposed to 30, so it's
right.
2 feet.
Just to given the nature of the post and beam, you know, they like to do it 4 feet or 8 feet on center, however they do it. So I couldn't do the same geometry, if you will.
Okay.
And
Yeah, it's 4 foot on one side and 2 foot on the other, on the other dimension, basically.
yeah, it's we're not.
Yeah.
It's pretty modest what
Yeah.
we want to do up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of you know, then the added stuff to make it a lot more accessible and usable.
yes.
And this trajectory of the sun is right here too, so it's kind of nice to have a little covered awning. That helps us. I did speak with the abutters on this side, Pamela Landis, and you know, she's thumbs up. I don't know, she didn't. She said she was going to write an email or something in support. She didn't apparently.
I'm sure she'd be happy to see an improvement.
Well,
Yeah.
it's in need
Improve
up
the
there. You
neighborhood.
know, it's a beautiful spot. A little bit, you know, again hard to navigate, but it's a really nice, quiet, private spot up there for sure.
It's quiet. It's quiet.
Yeah.
It's private.
Yeah.
The river's beautiful there.
Yeah. No, I feel like I hit the lottery. You know, every time I drive up, I love it. So that's the plan, gentlemen. That's what, you know, we're proposing and hopefully can
Yeah.
achieve.
And Kevin said this was not within the River Conservation Overlay District.
It is not, no. And it is out of the river setbacks as well.
There's 100 feet from the river.
Yeah,
Right
there's
there.
two. There's you can't do anything in the floodplain, but you also can't do anything more than 50 feet from the river.
75 feet.
50, I think.
I do have, and I should have brought it, but I did, when I put the septic in, I did get a LOMA, a land orientation map amendment from FEMA,
Mhm.
stating that this is above
Yeah.
floodplain. Sorry, I'm nervous talking to Pam.
I think they've changed it now. It's only 50 feet from the river.
They changed their river conservation district.
Yeah, it's near, I'm looking online.
It is, actually. I did read that.
Used to be 75.
75 feet
Yeah.
it was.
Which we barely made it 75, you know, but
Geez, you
definitely.
make it 50.
So in terms of where you're beyond just to summarize from my purposes, so where you're encroaching further into the prescribed setbacks,
Yes.
from beyond your existing footprint, you are encroaching further on the,
You know,
with the deck.
that confuses me when you say encroaching further, because he's not encroaching further. This front of his building is where it is. This is more than 25 feet.
No, but so you right in here is an additional encroachment
Where?
on the deck here.
Oh, you mean
Yeah,
toward the
that's
street?
an
Yes.
additional, that's
Toward
an
the street.
additional,
Yes,
well,
that's
6
an-
and 2, so it's an additional 8 feet.
And then there's additional encroachment
To the
back
neighbors.
here on the
Correct.
back, closer to this lot line. Because it's further than, it's only 18 feet from the lot line, and
Okay.
the setback is 25.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Correct.
So it's this area and this area.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is correct. That's where I'm caught the snag.
And the increase in non-conforming structure in addition to that.
Well, no, it's,
Because the whole structure is non-conforming. And
but
you're increasing the volume of the structure.
we no longer have a volume restriction. They took that out too.
Jeez, where have I been?
That was about 5 years ago.
that's been a
No,
while.
there is no more. We don't have to
2006.
worry about that anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, 2006.
So does everybody kind of agree with my analysis of
Yeah.
where the
absolutely.
additional encroachments are?
Yes, absolutely.
And we have no additional witnesses, and we have, James, we got nothing from the abutter.
No,
email or
no
anything?
emails, no letters.
I personally spoke with all of them, because up here, people have been there for many years.
Sure,
Not
because
like
I'm really in writing.
I mean, if
So nobody thought necessary.
I've not received anything,
Okay, well,
have no word from
Yeah.
Julie about it,
Okay.
so, and there's nothing in the file, that was.
I'm less interested in favorable comments and more interested in people saying, oh no, don't let him do it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there hasn't been that.
Or he's going to destroy our property values. Great.
You know, approve them.
Yeah, I think it's a plus for the street, without a doubt.
But we still have the same 5 criteria, right?
Yeah.
5 criteria.
Yeah, just so you know, yes, we do, same 5 criteria.
So
have
we
to
can,
go
you wanna run
Go
through
five
those?
times, yeah.
Let's do that, so facts supporting the request, granting the variance would not be contrary to the public interest. Environmental and cosmetic site improvements are sought to be made with code-compliant residents in a residentially zoned subdivision. So, your opinion, I can see no reason for this to be contrary to public interest. Spirit of the ordinance is observed because we're requesting relief to rebuild and increase the current use of existing home privately maintained road. Proposed construction remains within the size and scope of other homes in the street, largely within the existing footprint. And I just want to annotate there, so what is the deck is what is actually
It's
extending.
really just the
And
only.
you're not coming any closer to this,
No.
you're just extending what is
Right, you're going
already
an
there,
extra
so-
8 feet along this roadway.
Okay. Okay, so extends the area of the encroachment, but not does not decrease the distance.
Right.
Or is this just here?
See this dashed line right here
Yeah.
and that dashed line right there?
Yeah.
That's the existing structure.
Excuse me,
Oh,
can I show him?
So then that's going to be
You might be
my.
interested in seeing.
So it's just at the footprint of the
maybe
existing
not.
structure.
Yeah.
It's
not
like-
I'm not sure.
I don't
Just trying to
remember
help
the
him
deck
out.
in front, it's
Help
just
them
structure.
along with that.
No, it's just structure.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, okay, that's going to be gone, so that comes out.
Okay.
All right, granting the variance would do substantial justice because current structure is in decline.
Why don't we just vote?
You want to do each
Yeah.
one, vote
One by
it?
one,
So
yeah.
instead of going through? Okay, sure.
Yeah, let's,
Okay, so first, item 1, granting the variance would not be contrary to the public interests. All in agreement, say aye.
Agree.
Don't you vote?
Oh, yeah.
you don't get it.
Okay, so, and I hear so all,
Yeah.
so that's 5-0. Spirit of the ordinance is observed. All those in agreement?
Aye.
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 And 5-0. Granting the variance would do substantial justice. And
Oh, I wanted to ask you a question about the asbestos. Is there any special things you gotta do to clean this up?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
I figured.
there was a
Mhm.
report and a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have well, Kevin has it. I don't know if you.
It's
Yeah,
Kevin's,
it was in, yeah.
Yeah, there's an
Kevin's well aware of that stuff.
an abatement report and part of the demolition contract. They come
Oh,
in,
yeah.
they
And
they
there's
do
a-
the
Okay,
abatement.
I saw it and I read it.
Yeah.
And read it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that all gets all the bad stuff gets taken away,
Yeah.
the creosote timbers and
Yeah.
all of that.
And that also.
So the substantial justice test means that any loss to the individual, if we denied this, is not outweighed by a gain to the general public.
Correct, yeah.
So
Right.
I'm
Is
in agreement with that,
outweighed
so.
by gain
yeah.
in general.
So we're balancing the loss to the individual
Mhm.
Versus the.
versus the gain to the public
Public,
in enforcing the variance.
yes.
Um,
And I don't think there's any real gain to the public to enforce it.
Pardon?
What, yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so a vote on that. All those in agreement, say aye,
In agreement of,
In
The-
agreement,
of
That it will do.
do substantial justice.
yes,
aye.
aye.
Okay, that's 5-0. For the following reasons, values of the surrounding properties will not be diminished. Residential use in the neighborhood is also residential and will not diminish values. Project will make substantial environmental and code compliant improvements, both functional and cosmetic. And construction plans are keeping within the theme, size, and scope of other homes on the street. So, do we agree that the surrounding properties will not be
Yes.
diminished?
I agree.
Okay. And owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, denial of the variance would result in unnecessary hardship because considerable structural damage exists to the site, toxic and banned materials are currently used, electrical and general safety issues, not quite sure about that, but matters of fire safety and means of egress along with limited accessibility. Denial of the requested variance will result in unnecessary hardship by way of diminishing safety, energy consumption, and environmental concerns in close proximity to the river.
How old is this place compared to the other ones on the street?
Well, both on both sides of me have been improved. This one, I believe, is about 80 years old. It was originally constructed as a deer camp.
Yeah.
You know, there's an old leach field there, and it's old. And then it's been added on, I think, in the 70s.
And all the
or
rest in
80s.
the neighborhood are essentially the same age?
Well, she rebuilt this one, Pamela Landis, and then John Terry did some stuff. I don't know the age of his, but you know, he renovated, I guess, a couple years ago when he purchased it. So they've all have been improved upon somewhat.
I remember when Pamela Landis did her house up there, we had to,
Yeah.
I think it might have been I can't remember if it was a planning board issue at the time. I was on the planning board, or was it a construction issue? I don't remember, but she did a fair amount of work up there on that piece of property right next to
Yeah,
his.
looks pretty good too.
But the development, if you want to call it, were all originally, the subdivision was all originally and then constructed originally around the same time. The first.
I can't honestly say,
Okay.
James. I don't know. I've been an owner up here for 10 years.
Okay.
I believe the Lene, who's on the other side of the road, I think his place is definitely kind of looks a little bit like mine. I think they were two brothers
I see.
that built them, so I'm guessing his is probably, you know, about 80 years old as well.
Right. Okay, so owing to the special conditions of the property that
How is it
distinguish it
different?
Yep.
from other properties.
Is that what it is?
That works for me.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay, that works
Because
for
nothing's
me.
been done to it yet,
Yeah.
like the others
Exactly.
around it.
Yeah.
That's what I just picked up.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Because I was trying to figure out what was different.
Yeah, exactly.
He has a steeper slope too.
Yeah.
It's not that much steeper.
Not that much, okay. He's over it.
What's different about it is it hasn't had anything done to it, the other ones have.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so number 5, owing to the special conditions of the property, denial of the variance would result in unnecessary hardship.
Okay.
Do we all agree with that?
Yep.
That's
Aye.
another.
Yep.
Yep.
So in consideration of all 5 of these issues, does the board wish to grant the variance? All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
It'll be nice when you get it done.
It will be.
What's your schedule?
Well, I'm guessing. I don't know. I wasn't sure I could do it, but so I'm guessing probably once it dries out in the spring would be a good time
Yeah.
to do the foundation and you know, the timber frame can be cut anytime, and I can just call up and then they can ship it. It'll go pretty quick once it happens, but I think you need a pretty.
So you've got a contractor already?
I've got the frame company, that's all I've got at the moment, so.
Yeah, well, make sure I mean, I know the plumbers and electricians are really busy, so
Well, everybody is.
Everybody's busy, yeah.
definitely start lining up now,
I agree.
especially the plumbers, then you can never find one when you want one.
You got a plumber there.
Took me a year to get a
Retired.
painter to come and
Retired.
paint our
That's-
Really?
building. He's finally
Our
doing it.
building
So they're
inspector
so
was
smart.
100% behind this too. You know,
Well, now you tell us.
well, I went up and discussed it with him a couple of weeks ago.
Well, and it's,
Was a slam
you know,
dunk.
realistically, he has no, I mean, he's
Yeah.
behind or he's not behind, it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
So I.
But it's nice that he's behind,
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice. He thinks it's a good project.
He was concerned about, because all the windows, everything I have up there, it's like the small window. He was looking at egress windows and safety things that I never even really thought about. And
Yeah,
some of the,
yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
mentioned
it'll
the
it'll be a
staircase,
big
too.
improvement.
yeah, it will. It'll be energy efficient and it'd be nice.
Well, another successful ZBA meeting.
Okay.
Wow.
you go.
Well,
James, you're on a roll.
I get a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
That was quick.
Second.
Gentlemen, thank you all very much. I really
Definitely.
appreciate it.
Great,
I really
great
do.
project.
Hey,
All
enjoy
right.
it.